Hey, did you see, Laverne Cox, first transgendered woman to make the cover of Time magazine?
Wasn't Bugs Bunny on it once?
No, he wasn't. I make it my business to know Time magazine covers. Also, how about you try participating in a conversation for once instead of just immediately derailing it?
All I meant was Bugs was one of the first transgendered characters, and he's iconic enough that I just assumed he'd made Time magazine's cover, but I see that he didn't now. I was wrong. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Now I see how you're wrong. Bugs Bunny is not transgendered, buddy. He's just a rabbit from Brooklyn who may or may not have retired to Albuquerque.
Okay, what about all the times he dresses up like a woman?
What's your hurry, boy?
Wouldn't you if you were escaping from murderous hunters?
I wouldn't, but different strokes.
It's a disguise, one of many that he uses. Sometimes he's a doctor, a king, a cowboy, a freaking lamp. Not a convincing lamp, I'll grant
Well,
you.
but those aren't his go-to. 80% of the time, if Bugs is in a jam and he needs to escape, he's gonna dress up like a woman and seduce his antagonist.
Because it's a very effective disguise. Gave me a lot of confusing feelings when I was a child.
Exactly. Every time he dresses up like a woman, his pursuers can't tell the difference because they're so programmed that they think gender is a binary construct, and Bugs is exploiting that.
Oh, it's one of our balls.
Sorry, Scarlet Ma'am.
To escape from danger, though.
Not really. Most of the time, Bugs kind of hangs around and flirts with him, or even just kisses the villain instead of sashaying to freedom. Plus, every time he puts on a dress and a wig, the villains get more gropey than, like, Pepe Le Pew.
So you're implying that Bugs dresses as a woman because he wants creepy, aggressive sexual attention from the villains. How about you call Laverne Cox up and share that theory with her? Huh? I would love to see how that goes.
As a male, Bugs' entire life is full of distress and danger. As a female, though, he's treated with love and affection, albeit a little forcefully.
Mama, baby's dead!
Well, no one's gonna argue that the Looney Tunes universe isn't a little patriarchal.
Sure, and if it was just a way to survive, you'd be right, but we occasionally get clues from Bugs when the villain's not even around. Like, he's always being shown cleaning or cooking his place, which for that era is traditionally female work. Sometimes he's even depicted with an apron or with his ears tied up in a bun. He has towels in his place that say his and hers, overtly implying that his gender is at least a little conflicted.
Or that he loves hilarious puns. Buns. Bunnies. Also, or was spelled O-A-R. More of a homophone than a pun.
Okay, there's one episode where Bugs hops into a phone booth to change into Super Rabbit, and then pops out with a Bo Peep costume, and embarrassedly explains,
Pardon me, wrong costume.
why does he even have that costume? What's he using that for?
I feel I have to point out that later Bugs is much more traditionally male. I mean, in Space Jam, he falls in love with that sexy lady rabbit, Lola, and he lives with Daffy in a bachelor pad in the cartoons that I still watch.
Plus, since you brought up more recent incarnations, what about Tiny Toon Adventures?
What about it? Bugs works at Acme University as a professor of wisecracking. Cush gig.
Tiny Toon Adventures gave each major Looney Tunes character a younger analog. So Daffy had Plucky, Porky had Hampton, Taz had Dizzy, Sylvester had Furball. Bugs, on the other hand, had two younger analogs, Buster and Babs Bunny, meaning that in order to capture everything that Bugs is, you have to have both genders.
What about Elmer? His younger analog is an adolescent girl who loves animals in a borderline psychosexual way. What's that imply about him?
What are you talking about?
Elmira Duff? Elmer Fudd? You didn't make that connection.
It's a cartoon, man. I'm trying to talk about important issues here, and you're talking cartoons. It's fine. Man, it's fine. Everything is fine.
That's all, folks.
Any refills here?
Hello, you're very attractive. You are, of face. And the rest, the whole party. Hi, my sorry is because how I bet you hear this all the time.
This exact thing? I bet not.
Stop it, I'm doing great.